Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome back. Welcome to top lesson for you. In the previous video we just made diagrams of the nervous system. In this video we are classifying nervous system, right? So friends, before starting our lecture, it's a humble request that if you haven't subscribed our channel yet, so please subscribe our channel. Thank you so much. Right, let's begin with the divisions of the nervous system, right? So as we know, let me make it in the middle of the board. As we know that we have a very specialized nervous system in our body. So our nervous system, from the beginning you know that I had classified the nervous system into two different parts, right? So nervous system is classified as, right, central nervous system, right? We will mention each part inshallah, right? So this is our central nervous system, and we know that we have also peripheral nervous system. Clear? Okay, peripheral nervous system. Now, in the beginning of this series of lectures, I had defined nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Now let us give a small touch to it again. What is nervous system, friends? And what is peripheral nervous system? Clear? So, let me draw it diagrammatically. As you know, we have a very special house here, right? And in this house has two ways, two roads to come, right? This is the road through which the people comes to this home. Clear? And this is the road through which the people are going of this home, right? So on this way the people are going. So from the people, what I mean, I will tell you in the end, right? Here we have a very special person sitting here, okay? Here we have a very special person sitting, right? Okay, this is his bed and he is sitting. He is very dear to all of us. He is sitting here, right? Okay, he is sitting here, always trying to get something and read it, and okay. So, right, he is a very special person and he has everything in his house, right? So let's see, friends, what is this part, what is this part, and what is this part, right? So from here, friends, look carefully. From here, impulses or messages are coming towards this room. Let me write it as room, right? This is a room, this is a way coming to the room, and this is a way going back from the room, right? So messages from the people, we mean messages are coming towards this room, right? So there will be there will be someone who are bringing these messages, right? Here will be some special people who are bringing these messages to this room, right? Okay, so these people are bringing messages. Clear? So who are these people? As they are bringing impulses, so there will be neurons. Clear, friends? So neurons are bringing messages to this person, and this person will check that message, will read that message, and according to that message he will start planning, he will write some planning and will send the planning towards the effectors, right? So here also impulses are going, friends. Impulses are going from this room, right? Who are these people who are taking these impulses? This special area, right? So these people are also, friends, neurons. Clear? Okay, friends. Now let's focus on our peripheral nervous system and central nervous system. So as you know, this room has the person who always checks the coming messages and who prepares the going messages, right? So this person, I mean by this room, this is our CNS. CNS, I mean central nervous system, right? So what is central nervous system? Listen carefully. Central nervous system is the nervous system which is receiving messages, right? Coordinating them and sends back messages, right? So central nervous system is the system which, number one, receive messages, okay. Number two, coordinate them, right? Coordinate them. And number three, sends back orders, right? This is the definition of our central nervous system, right? It doesn't need to be written here, right? So here we can understand it. What is nervous system? The system which receives impulses, which receives messages, coordinate them, and sends back motor impulses or messages, right? So this is central nervous system. Now what is peripheral nervous system? So friends, this part and this part as the peripheral nervous system. Now what is peripheral nervous system? The system which bring messages and takes back messages, right? What is again the system which bring impulses and takes back impulses? This is called peripheral nervous system. What are those impulses which are coming to this central nervous system? Those impulses are sensory impulses. So sensory impulses are coming towards the central nervous system, right? And motor impulses are going back from the central nervous system. So that system which brings sensory impulses and takes back motor impulses, this system is called the peripheral nervous system. Clear? So what is central nervous system? The system which receive sensory messages and sends back motor messages. This is central nervous system. And the system which brings sensory messages and takes back motor messages, that system is called the peripheral nervous system. I think it should be clear now, right? So central nervous system has how many parts? Central nervous system has generally two different parts, two main parts. That is our brain and spinal cord. Clear? So central nervous system includes brain and spinal cord. Clear, friends? Now let's divide peripheral nervous system. As we know, friends, this brain has how many parts? This brain has, yes, telencephalon. Okay. Then, yes, then telencephalon, then diencephalon. From the previous lecture we know it. Diencephalon. Then there is mesencephalon, isn't it? Mesencephalon. Then there is, yes, metencephalon. Clear? And then there is, we also know that there should be myelencephalon. Clear? So these are the 5 major divisions of the brain. Clear? And we know each part, what does it include. So we know it from the previous lecture. Now spinal cord is also divided into cervical region, thoracic region, lumbar region and coccygeal region, right? We are not going to in that detail. So we have to focus on the peripheral nervous system, that how many parts of the peripheral nervous system, how many divisions the peripheral nervous system has. So peripheral nervous system has 2 divisions. Yes, that is, the peripheral nervous system has 2 major divisions. As from that diagram we know that there was sensory division and then there was motor division, right? So sensory peripheral nervous system, okay, sensory peripheral, and then there is motor peripheral nervous system. Clear? Okay, that's so simple. Friends, as we know, sensations are of two types. Sensations are of two types. Those sensations which are coming from special parts of the body, and those sensations which are coming from the every part of the body, from general part of the body, right? So that is special sensations and general sensations. Clear? So special sensory peripheral nervous system. Yes, special sensory peripheral nervous system. What are those special sensations? Special sensations are those sensations which are coming from special parts of the body, which are not coming from every part of the body. For example, sensation of sight or coming from the eyes, sensations of hearing coming from the ears, sensations of smell coming from the nose, sensations of taste coming from the tongue, right? So these are some special sensations. We cannot taste anything with our fingers. We cannot taste anything with our nose. We can taste everything just with our tongue, right? We cannot smell with our fingers. We can just smell with our nose. We cannot see everything with our feet. We just see everything with our eyes. So these are special sensations. So what are special sensations? Special sensations are those sensations which are coming from special parts of the body. These sensations are called the special sensations. Now, general sensations, or we can say general sensory peripheral nervous system. General sensory peripheral nervous system. What are general sensations? Those sensations which are coming from every part of the body. For example, we can feel pain at the tip of fingers, we can feel pain at elbow joint, we can feel pain at our head, we can feel pain at our tongue, we can feel pain at our legs, right? So these are general sensations which are coming from, which can come from every part of the body, right? Sensory peripheral nervous system is classified into two classes: special sensory peripheral nervous system and general sensory peripheral nervous system. Remember, this is sensory peripheral nervous system. I mean, it is taking messages towards the central nervous system, right? So special sensations are coming from special parts of the body. For example, yes, for example, eyes, for example, nose, for example, yes, tongue, yes, ears. Okay, these are the parts of the body which are responsible for taking the special sensations. It means that in our body only eyes can see objects, not ears, not skin, not feet, not hands, whatever, right? Then we have special sensations coming from these special parts. Next, we have general sensations. So general sensations are classified into two classes. The first are the somatic general sensations, right? The first is somatic general sensory peripheral nervous system, right? Like this: somatic general sensory peripheral nervous system and visceral general sensory peripheral nervous system. It's so simple. Yes. General sensations are classified into two: somatic sensations and visceral sensation. Now let me give you an example. So friends, if you are touching my skin, right? If you are touching my skin, so this is a sensation from every part of the skin. If you will touch me, I can feel, right? From every part of my skin, if you touch, I can feel someone is touching me, right? So this is somatic. Somatic means general, right? Then there is, okay, somatic means superficial. I will call it superficial. Superficial sensations, right? So those sensations which are coming from all parts of the body, the first, that is general, right? And from the superficial parts of the body, that is somatic. So somatic, general, sensory, peripheral nervous system is responsible for taking information from the superficial parts of the body, right? And visceral sensations, as you know, viscera means organs, and organs of our body are lies deep in our body, inside our body. So visceral means those sensations which are coming from deeper parts of the body, right? Deeper. For example, abdominal pain, for example, gastric pain, right? For example, colic pain, intestinal pains, right? So these are the sensations which are coming from deeper parts of our body. So those sensations which are collected from deeper parts of the body, those sensations are called visceral, general, sensory, peripheral nervous system, right? And those sensations which are taken from the superficial parts of the body, those are called the, somatic, general, sensory, peripheral nervous system, right? So for example, here we have dull pain, right? Dull pain. Then we also distensions. Clear, friends? Okay. I think it's making sense, right? So peripheral nervous system is classified into two classes, into two divisions. The first, sensory. The second, motor. Sensory is classified into special and general. Special sensations are those sensations which are coming from special parts of the body, not from all parts of the body. Right, I have written them. And general sensations are those sensations which are coming from superficial part, those are somatic, which are coming from deeper part, those are, visceral, general sensations. That's all about sensory. Now let's move towards motor nervous system. Motor peripheral nervous system. So motor peripheral nervous system is classified as, motor peripheral nervous system is classified as somatic motor and autonomic motor, right? Somatic motor peripheral nervous system, right? Somatic and autonomic motor peripheral nervous system. Clear? So motor nervous system is classified into two: somatic motor peripheral nervous system and autonomic motor peripheral nervous system. Clear? Yes. So we know that, for example, friends, somatic are those risks which are voluntary. We also call them voluntary. And it means those actions which are controlled by us, which are under our control, which someone performs consciously, right? So which are under conscious control. For example, running. If someone says run, you said no, I don't run. If someone say please chew the gum, you say no. If someone say please laugh, you say don't, I don't laugh, right? So these are those actions which are under our control, which are under conscious control. So those motor responses, not sensations, responses which are voluntary, those are called somatic motor, right? For example, running, for example, eating, for example, smelling, for example, chewing. Clear, friends? These are those sensations which are under our control. If someone says run, you say no, I don't want to run. If someone says stop, you say no, I am keeping my running, right? So these are the sensations, these are the responses which are under our control. Okay, so next we have autonomic motor peripheral nervous system, right? So this autonomic means those actions which are not in our control, right? So these actions are also known as involuntary actions, right? They are not under the control, they are not performed consciously, right? We don't know those actions have been happened, right? For example, let me classify autonomic into two. Autonomic motor nervous system is classified into two parts. Let me bring it here and see what can we do. Autonomic motor peripheral nervous system. So autonomic nervous system, as I told you, it is involuntary. Autonomic is involuntary, it is not in our control, right? It happens by its own. So it is classified as sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Right. Okay. Let's see. What does it mean? Friends, autonomic nervous system is classified into two parts, into two divisions, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Both of these actions are involuntary. How? For example, if you see a very big dine, you will run. You will run. So this running, while you are running, this is involuntary. Why? Because you are afraid of that. And what will happen at that time? Remember, if you see a big dine, what will happen? The first thing, your heartbeat will be fast. The first. So this is not in your control now. You cannot control your heartbeat. Right? It has some importance. Why heartbeat goes up? It has importance. But right now we are not discussing that importance. We are discussing that this heartbeat, when it gone up, it is not in your control. You cannot control it. Right? When you gone from that dine and someone says, okay, there is no problem. When you sit on a chair, when you saw that your heartbeat was 150 beats per minute, and after some time, when there is no danger, you check your heartbeat after 5 or 10 minutes, it comes back to normal. Right? So, sympathetic means it will make you hyper. Sympathetic activity will make your body hyper, and parasympathetic activity will act opposite to them. Right? So, if sympathetic activity hypers your heartbeat, it will brings it back down. Right? For example, it will take your heartbeat up to 200, it will brings it back. Right? So, both these actions are not under your control. Right? It will increase your blood pressure, it will decrease it back. It will increase sweating, it will decrease sweating. Right? It will increase your respiratory rate, it will decrease it. It will increase blood flow to nervous system, it will decrease it. Right? So, sympathetic and parasympathetic activity, as we told you that, okay, sympathetic activity is activated during stress conditions. Right? During fear conditions. During fight conditions. Sympathetic activity. And parasympathetic activity will make you relax. Parasympathetic activity will make you relax. For example, if in my body just now sympathetic activity will activate, there will be dilatation of my pupils, right? There will be, my heartbeat will be faster. There will be sweating, right? There will be hyper respiration, right? So after some time when I sit,